USD, either in equity or loan, to expand this cultural site. And then there's also the Agbogbomefia tomato processing with an investment of 2.5 million of tomatoes, and that will create over 2,000 jobs and strengthen our agro-industrial base. There's the Hohoe Light Industrial Park, which is about close to 20 acres, and we do recognize that this is quite small, but requires investment of about $10 million, private investment or PPPs into creating or expanding the facilities in the industrial park. The regional minister also not too long ago mentioned that he is working to create another industrial park around the Adaklo area for businesses that are interested in doing business in the region. So if I were you, I'll clap for him, because that's one of the reasons to encourage people to come in. And I'll leave this for my colleague from the 24-hour economy. This is basic roadshow of the Volta Economic Corridor. He will speak about it. The flagship program of the 24-hour economy, which is seeking to transform the entire Volta Economic Corridor using the Volta Lake as basis. And this will be some of the products that will be cultivated, the land that will be domesticated, some of the agroecological sites, and all that will come with government's flagship program. So I'll leave that for Dr. Nas to talk to you about that one. So all this is under the 24-hour economy. Yes, the more you see, all the museums, monuments. So these are some of the publicly owned irrigation schemes in the region, and I would encourage you to take note of that. And also some of the strategic agricultural value chains in Volta and OT. The land size that is relatively available is about 90,000 hectares for cultivation of same. Then these are some of the publicly owned irrigation schemes in the various districts. I will leave that with you. Move on. And so we have policy and incentives for investing in the Volta region. This is what you have. We have the big push. We've spoken about that. That's already happened. These are some of the projects for the big push in the Volta region. And that creates opportunities for businesses here to team up with contractors to be part of the construction that is ongoing under the big push. These are some other initiatives: agriculture for economic transformation, which is a key component of Feed Ghana. And also what you've been calling the Nkukon Kitinkiti is the poultry side. We have the Black Star Experience, which is about promoting Ghana as a whole, from our cultural heritage to our food to who we are, positioning us as a place for people to visit and do business. And then you have incentives. You can't have investment without incentives. So these are some of the incentives for investing in the Volta region. If you're a cocoa farmer, you're exempted from paying tax, 100% exemption from paying tax. So wherever that you farm that cocoa in the Volta region, you don't pay taxes. If you're into agro-processing and value addition enterprises, into the cocoa byproducts, the crops, livestock, it's 1%, more or less zero for the first 5 years. If you're into manufacturing and you are in Ho, if you are located in Ho, everybody pays a corporate income tax of 18.75%. The corporate income tax for Ghana is 25%. But if you are located in Ho, yours is 18.75%. If you are located outside of Ho, which is the Volta region of the regional capital, your corporate income tax is 12.5%. So we're encouraging you to take advantage of same and move into areas to develop the manufacturing. There's also the 8% corporate tax on horticulture, non-traditional and non-lumber wood projects, locally manufactured goods. There's 1% for 5 years for those who develop low-cost residential housing. That's why we're encouraging investment into the housing project in Ho and in the Volta region. Then for those who set up hotels, instead of 25% corporate tax, you pay 22%. And these are mouth-watering incentives for you to invest in this region, in our region, into real estate, the eco-lodges, and tourism infrastructure development. as 20% corporate tax applied to financial institutions that are providing loans to farming enterprises here instead of the 25%. Then you have 1% corporate tax for 10 years for mutual funds and for trust operating and financing within the region. And for those of you who want to invest in rural bank, you don't pay any taxes at all. It's zero for all, it's exclusively for Ghanaians, but you don't pay any tax. So please consider that as well. There's the venture capital. My colleague is here from free zones. When they are making their presentation, they also give you part of the free zones exemptions. Then for investment, $50 million and above, you fall under the Exemptions Act with special incentive packages if you want to invest in the region. There's the custom duty exemption on plant machinery equipment, which is under the Exemptions Act. There are VAT reliefs, and there are items that are zero rated, which is to boost export oriented, and therefore you don't pay anything when you import them. We've mentioned the waste processing. We've spoken about enterprises under the free zones. And then for those who are assembling or bringing completely knocked down vehicles, it's zero corporate tax for 3 years for semi-knocked down, and zero corporate tax for 10 years for fully knocked down vehicles when you're assembling them. I will encourage you to move some into the Volta region and assemble them here and send it around the country. Then there are incentives you enjoy for investing in the Volta region. It's called capital allowance on assets across agriculture, manufacturing, and regional and renewable energies. This allows businesses to recover their investment cost faster. These are some of the non-financial incentives. We'll run through that. There's commercial courts, the disputes, you can deal with those ones. These are the institutional support. You have register of companies that works here. All you need is a shareholder, 2 directors, 1 secretary, 1 auditor, and 1 accountant, and a fiscal location to set up a company in Ghana. You have the Securities and Exchange Commission. You have the Ghana Stock Exchange. Can invest in. We are empowering Ghanaians. And so there are some areas that are reserved for Ghanaians under the GIPC Act, under Section 27 of the GIPC Act. These are some of the areas of economic activities reserved for Ghanaians, which you can participate in. Retail, the small-scale mining, there are retail, the market, as well as some taxi services as well. You also have significant local content regulations supporting Ghanaian investors. So if you go to mining, you must have a minimum of 10 to 20% Ghanaian equity in the support services. If you go to oil and gas, you have 5%, which starts and could go up to 51% in the support services. If you go to the power and energy sector, especially in the electricity distribution, it's as quickly that you move on to engage Ghanaians. I'd want to show you more of this, but it's time. And so these are some of the services we offer. Our office here will be offering to you, for you when you invest in this region. And these are opportunities through partnerships with GIPC. What we do has already been defined. We do have an office here. These are value proposition to you. Register with us. We will encourage all of you to register with the GIPC here. If you're a foreign investment, then yes, you have to meet the minimum capital requirement. But if you're a wholly owned Ghanaian company, you are exempted from the minimum capital requirement. So we encourage all of you to register with us. This is the process. And then we offer a 24-hour premium service, which will be available here. These are some of our collaborating partners that we work with. And on this note, I wish I had a much shorter speech for you, but I have a presentation about investing in the Volta region. So thank you for listening to me, and we will make this available to you. So I'll just call on my colleague, who will just give you 5 minutes about the IOMP, and then we'll move on. Thank you.
Good morning, and I stand on existing protocols established to continue and talk about the investment opportunity mapping project by the GIPC, a game changer for us as we say it back in the office. So I'll quickly run through, so I'm not going to go through this. What is the IOMP about? It is a strategic national initiative aimed at providing data-driven insights that promote balanced investment distribution and enhance visibility of district-level opportunities across Ghana. So this project intends to map out all the investment opportunities across the district, the 261 districts in our 16 regions. So let me bring it back home into our region here in the Volta region, and I'll give you an overview of the investments that have been recorded from 1994 to September 2025. Accra alone accounts for, out of a little over 7,000 projects that have been registered, Accra accounts for close to 5,800 projects, valued at 34.8 billion. And in percentage terms, we are talking about, in projects, Accra alone accounting for over 80%, and in value terms, 66%. Comparing it to our Volta region, in Volta, over the period that I've mentioned, only 66 projects have been registered, and in value terms, 132.88 million. And in percentage terms, this is just about 0.3%. So we are talking about the IOMP. This spatial distribution underscores a persistent structural challenge. So while Ghana performs well in attracting investments overall, over 200 districts are lagging behind. Now, regions like Volta possess clear comparative advantages in agribusiness, as has been established through our various presentations. So the IOMP, we believe, can reverse this by stimulating local enterprise and industrialization. As has been said, if you look at this, it depicts the distribution of projects, and Accra accounting for majority and Volta region as highlighted. So when we take the sectors that these investments have gone into, as has been established, agriculture accounts for the majority of that, and we can see it from the chart over there. So the rationale for the IOMP, it was conceived to address the gaps that we've spoken about. And in the Volta region, this initiative supports the Volta investment drive and broader national vision of achieving spatially inclusive, sustainable economic development. So the IOMP embodies this new strategic move shift. It's a data-driven decision support tool designed to bridge the knowledge gap between national investment ambitions and local economic realities. So it will enable targeted investment promotion grounded in data. So as we go along the investment roadshows and through our various other channels, collate investment opportunities from the district, this will help with the targeted investment promotion. It will enhance investor confidence through transparent, comparable local profiles and strategic resource allocation, ensuring each region leverages its unique economic potential. So in essence, the IOMP operationalizes Ghana's vision for equitable regional investment, transforming district-level data into actionable intelligence that connects investors to untapped opportunities. So the rationale I've spoken about, I can move on. And just to highlight the kind of business establishments that we have in the Volta region per each district. And we can see that some of the districts have small micro establishments. Others have both all the establishments categories, large, medium, small, micro. But essentially we see that a lot of the districts have more micro establishments, as we can see from the chart. So the meaning we have behind this is that dominance of micro enterprises, meaning that they are strong entrepreneurial base and MSME dynamism. And the implication for IOMP is that it can leverage this base by channeling targeted financing, infrastructure, and capacity building to scale promising enterprises. And similar for the others, so for instance, we have some of the districts showing medium, large enterprises. That means that emerging space for medium and large industry. And implication for IOMP is that it will help identify investment-ready districts and support the development of industrial ecosystems around agribusiness, logistics, renewable energy hubs, etc. So the rationale for the IOMP in the Volta region, as mentioned, we have the Volta region not having a lot of investments attracted into it. So this untapped a comparative advantage where we have fertile lands, cross-border access to Togo and emerging industrial zones, as has been established before. It would directly address these deficits by creating a comprehensive investment intelligence system for all the districts, unlocking scalable investment opportunities, showcasing bankable projects to attract investors beyond what we have going all the way into Accra and not the other regions. Supporting regional equity and job creation in alignment with our 24-hour economy agenda and bridging the information gap between investors and our local economies. Some challenges, apart from the gaps that we've mentioned, is that there's misconception that GIPC prioritizes foreign investors at the expense of our local enterprise growth. There's limited visibility of district-level investment prospects, no centralized data source for local investment readiness, and uneven regional development. So seeing beyond today, we are envisaging that there will be increased investment inflows, diversified economy, reduced regional disparities, technology and innovation, and inclusive and sustainable development with the IOMP coming into force. So a snapshot of opportunity sectors, I'll run through that. And a pictorial view of what we intend to achieve. 261 districts, all the majority of investment going to Accra, and so the IOMP comes into play to change this narrative. So how this flagship initiative being supported and in partnership with the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry and the Ghana Export Promotion Authority is to identify, assess, document, map investment opportunities in the 16 regions and our 261 districts, including the districts in the Volta region. The steps we have to take towards this is that we are identifying, and we've started doing that already. Our team has been collating a lot of the opportunities from the various districts. We are assessing, we are mapping, and then that leads to promotion. We have core pillars underpinning this IOMP. We have the 24-hour economy investment pitches, the presentations for regional leadership, regional expansion of our GIPC offices, MDA's investment portfolio project, investment opportunity, or the GIS-enabled investment portal, regional investment roadshows, the Ghana Diplomatic Investment Drive, and we are crowning it up with the Ghana International Investment Summit, earmarked for next year. So the conceptual framework for the IOMP, we have the outputs looking at the district investment database, the GIS portal, sectoral promotion, so we can share this with you later. The outcomes that matter to you: nationwide investment intelligence, equitable regional investment promotion, and so on. For the Volta region, it will lead to specific investment compendium, verifiable pipeline of projects, capacity building for local actors, nationwide investment intelligence for all 261 districts. So the roadmap towards this, as mentioned, there's already data gathering ongoing, and that's from July to December, analysis and mapping by May next year, dissemination and promotion next year, December, monitoring and evaluation going on throughout this process. And the expected outcomes, nationwide investment intelligence, as has been mentioned already, comprising of comprehensive data on all 261 districts to support informed decision-making, equitable regional promotion, increased visibility, and FDI inflows to underserved regions like the Volta region. Decentralized investment advocacy, so a one-stop GIS-enabled portal for investors accessible globally, and then the global outreach, strengthen capacity of foreign missions to market regional opportunities. The benefit of this to the Volta region, as mentioned already, the investment compendium, why this matters to Volta, as established, there's just about 0.3% of national inflows when you talk about FDI to the region. And then the strategic location, gateway to ECOWAS via Aflao border, key to AFCFTA logistics, and so on. So when we are done with the mapping, this is an illustrative investment pipeline. We'll have the sectors, the opportunity areas, and then illustrative projects. So for instance, for agribusiness, we are looking at cassava, rice, pineapple, and aquaculture value chains, where we will have projects in agro-processing zones, cold chain, logistics, and so on. I'll skip this. This has been mentioned by my CEO already. So those are sample investment opportunities there. So for collaborations, building strong partnerships in the Volta region is essential for driving investment and development. And when government institutions, traditional leaders, and private investors work together like how we are doing, a supportive environment for growth is created. District investor information and profiles highlight each district's potential, helping stakeholders align efforts and attracting meaningful investment to the region. In conclusion, the IOMP is unlocking new pathways for balanced, data-driven, and inclusive investment across Ghana's districts. With validated opportunities in priority sectors, the Volta region is positioned to demonstrate how subnational promotion can translate potential into performance. So a call to action: partner with the GIPC through the IOMP project to unlock Volta's unique investment frontiers, deepen collaboration, and shape a transformative regional growth story. I thank you for your attention.
That was a very elaborate presentation about Volta. Honorable Minister, I think we have a lot of work to do because we have to run with the vision. So we have to get ready to move the dream and the visions forward. Going further, we shall be receiving Mr. Abdul Nazar Suglo Alidu from the 24-hour Secretariat to make a presentation to us.
Good morning, and I'll take a cue from my brother, Simon, and say I stand on existing protocol. I've also been told that we are running short of time, so I'm going to try to run through this very quickly. Ordinarily, I'll talk about all of this, give an overview of the 24-hour economy, talk about why we need a 24-hour economy. But at this stage, I think a lot of us have a sense of what the 24-hour economy is and why we need a 24-hour economy. So I will touch a bit on our process, what investors should expect, and then two takeaways that I would love at least everybody to have from here would be an understanding of what the Volta Economic Corridor is and how, if you want to participate within the 24-hour economy projects, what you need to do. So, like I said, I will not really go too much into talking about the 24-hour economy. We all know it's a transformation program. We are trying to make the Ghanaian economy a lot more self-reliant, a lot more industrialized and competitive on the international market. And we want the Ghanaian economy to create jobs with growth and not be, the kind of economy that grows without necessarily creating jobs. In driving the 24-hour economy, what we've tried to do is identify specific value chain that we can focus on. Ideally, you want to do everything, but we are limited by resources, so we need to focus on where we can get the most impact. And so we've identified value chains that we are going to use to catalyze the transformation. And these are the value chains that you see on there. You realize that if you go through a lot of the government programs, a lot of what GIPC actually even mentioned over here, the value chains kind of align, right? And these ones we chose based on four main factors. First, we looked at food inflation. Where do we get the most food inflation from? Then we looked at import bill. We looked at impact on other value chains, and then we looked at general demand. Why the 24-hour economy? I'll jump over it. But perhaps the key thing is the fact that in today's economy, even when our GDP is growing, you realize we are not necessarily creating enough jobs for our people. So when we're experiencing joblessness, a big part of it is because of the deformity within the way our economy is structured. And that's one of the things that we are trying to correct. Actually, something that often surprises people when we talk about is this table that tells us our top 10 food imports. And number 2 always surprises people, so I'll just touch on it. Our number 2 largest food import in Ghana is the stomach, intestines, stomach and guts of animal. But that tells you the kind of economy we are running, where we import everything, including the stomach of animals that we use for our chop bars. And that's what we're trying to change. What we've done so far is, gone through the data, try to understand what are the areas that we need to tackle, and come up with this program. The other thing that it's important to understand about the 24-hour economy is that it is largely private sector driven. So we are focusing on how do we bring the private sector in to help with the transformation. Why is this important? It's important for 2 reasons. Number 1, government balance sheet is constrained. It's not enough to achieve the transformation we want to achieve in the time we want to achieve. But second is the fact that the private sector has long-term interests. So if you're able to bring the private sector in and position them to take off, then you're going to have more sustainable projects. Now, if you want to bring the private sector in, private sector wants to see projects that are bankable and projects where they can see their money going and see where their profit coming. And so what we've then tried to do is structure every intervention as a bankable project and figure out ways to invite the private sector to come in. What we are doing now is we're doing a number of project preparation, and what that means is we are doing feasibility studies for these projects. We are also identifying what we call the viability gap funding. And this is important, right? Because oftentimes when you are putting in place projects, and especially the kind of projects that we are looking to put in place, most of them involve public infrastructure, bulk infrastructure, which is not always profitable. If you want the private sector to come in, you need to make them profitable. And what you do is you provide what we call viability gap funding. Part of that viability gap funding we're looking to get from government. Part of it we also want to get from climate and carbon financing. It's part of the reason why we are designating the Volta Economic Corridor as a net zero green economic corridor. And we started working with the Green Climate Fund and others to try to structure the projects in ways that provide what they call additionality, and that makes it easy for them to provide funding for these projects. Then for every project also, we look at policy production offtake so that it's fully integrated. The policy enablers that should allow the project to go, to become successful, then work with government to ensure that we have those enablers in place. And then map out the full value chain, identify the kind of firms within that value chain, and support them to be able to establish so that you can have clear offtake. Because if you map out the full value chain and you understand who is producing, who is off-taking, then you don't have a problem, you don't have a situation where people produce and there's nobody to off-take. Land, and I'll talk about land later. We have what we call the participatory land access model, which is meant to help us acquire land from communities, where the communities come together and contribute the land as equity. Now, the reason why this is important is that at the point when we're designing the program, we actually visited one investor here in the Volta region, and he had to get large tracts of land to farm cassava. And he had to deal with more than 300 families to get access to that land, right? And this is one entrepreneur dealing with 300 families in order to get access to land. It makes it almost impossible, right? Because if you want to deal with it, you might need an army of lawyers to deal with all these, families. What we are trying to do is to take that burden off investors so that investors have access to land, and we'll just need to focus on, their business and not how to deal with all the families and landowners. So let's go to what we offer investors. We talked about the land availability, the bulk infrastructure. Now, the bulk infrastructure, this is the way we are delivering the bulk infrastructure, and it's important people understand it so you have a good sense of how the 24-hour economy is making investment easy for you as an investor. We recognize that for a lot of private people, when you come to Ghana and you are setting up, and especially when you actually even tell people to go outside Accra, what happens is they'll tell you they don't have access to a lot of the infrastructure. So if he has to set up, and especially set up outside Accra, he needs to think about the roads to his place, he needs to think about energy, he needs to think about water, he needs to think about all the bulk infrastructure, and that significantly increases the cost of doing business. So they will not come. So what we are saying is we need to find ways of ensuring that we take away this hurdle so that investors, all they need to do is they just come and they set up their business. They don't need to think about all the other things, right? And there you are thinking about if you want to do farming, you need to be able to come, have the land prepared, have the irrigation facilities in place, and what you do is you focus on the farming. If you're coming to set up a factory, you come in, the land is prepared, you have the access roads, energy, you focus on setting up your factory. So we're working with the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, who are the infrastructure partners of the 24-hour economy. Now, their law allows them to set up sub-funds and SPVs. So they are going to set up a sub-fund that invests in these SPVs. So for every project, So if we're going to do an industrial park, they set up an SPV for that industrial park. They provide the viability gap funding to make that business profitable. And then they can syndicate investments from private sector because now the project is viable to set up that industrial park. That gives you a viable way to ensure that you are leveraging private sector capital to be able to put in place a bulk infrastructure for businesses to come in. We're doing the same thing for agro-parks, agroecological parks, where you prepare the land, and for us, all the parks that we are setting up need to be irrigated. Today in Ghana, you have less than 5% of land, under cultivation being irrigated, and that's not acceptable. So every land that we prepare for agriculture needs to be irrigated. All of that will be built under this. And then there's the multimodal transport system, there's a housing, and then there's an energy stuff also within the project. So if you're an investor, these are some of the things you can come in to invest in the SPV, either equity or debt. You can become an anchor enterprise or a tenant within the parks, either be it an industrial park or agroecological park, or you can be a transport operator on the Volta Lake, and I'll talk about the Volta Economic Corridor. Or you provide technology, provide construction, EPC, O&M services, and all of that. If you want to participate within the 24-hour economy, you can go to the 24-hour economy website. If you go to www.24hplus.gov.gh, this is the first thing you see when you get there. And when you get there, this particular button, expression of interest, if you click it, you are able to provide your details and we'll follow up with you. When we follow up with you, there are a number of things that happens. One, there are companies here that want to be, or there are people who express interest to be part of the SPVs or the bulk infrastructure or to be within specific projects. So we work with you on that. And then we also will work with businesses to ensure that we can also hand them over to possible government agencies that want to support them, especially when it comes to fundraising, when it comes to investor readiness and all of that. So if you are an investor and you want to participate in the 24-hour economy, this is where you go to be able to participate. Just to talk about the Volta Economic Corridor, and I'll end it. So the flagship transformation platform for the 24-hour economy is the Volta Economic Corridor. The Volta Economic Corridor seeks to correct some, what I'll call a developmental glitch that we've had. Because if you look at the way we've developed to date, it's followed basically the colonial pattern. When the colonial governments came in, when the Europeans came in, they were interested in our natural resources. A lot of the natural resources were on the western side of the country. So they built the roads, they built the railways and all of that in the western part of the country. And they built a port at Takoradi. When we got independent, we built a port at Tema. The idea from Nkrumah was to build the dam and then be able to also use the Volta Lake to develop the eastern side. Unfortunately, we haven't done much of it. So when you talk to people and you try to find out why this eastern part is getting depopulated, a lot of time we are told that building projects there is expensive. It's expensive because you don't have the roads, you don't have the railways, and to do it, you need to do all of that. And so over time, we haven't really developed that part very much. So what the 24-hour economy is looking to is we'll convert the lake, which is the biggest man-made lake in the world by surface area, into the road. Because you can use the lake as a transport system. And then you don't need to build all the, the roads or the railways. Luckily for us, there's already a railway that's been built from Tema to Mpakadan. So then you can connect over there. And then what you then have is you have a corridor that goes from the south all the way to the north with a lot of water you can use for irrigation, you can use for transportation. It reduces the cost of doing business, and you have a vibrant green economic corridor in that section. So that's what we are looking to do with the Volta Economic Corridor. There are a number of projects that we've identified in that corridor that are currently under preparation. One of them is the Volobato Industrial Corridor, where we are looking to focus on sugarcane, rice, and maize. There are some garment parks. So there's a regional garment park that we are looking to put in place in Ho. On the lake itself, there are a number of pots that we are looking to put in place, and there's an aquaculture park also that we are looking to put in place on the lake. I will end by just showing the Volta Economic Corridor video. But a number of the projects, before that, a number of the projects are actually in this presentation. So we'll leave the presentation. You can also find them on our website, and you can see all the projects that we have here and what you can participate in. But I'll end by just playing the Volta Economic Corridor video that then gives us a sense of what we are doing with the Volta. We don't have audio, eh? We don't have audio. Pardon? It will play, okay. Let's see. Okay, unfortunately we don't have audio, so I would say the Volta Economic Corridor video is also on our website. If you go to our website, you'll be able to see it, but it gives you a sense of the vision and how we are looking to transform this zone into a vibrant economic corridor. So thank you very much, and we're looking forward to doing good business in the Volta region.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nazar. Please let us be informed that this program is live on Volta Star Radio 91.3 and 97.7. So we can inform others who are not here to tune live and benefit from what we are receiving here. We've received a very detailed presentation on what the Volta Corridor is and the opportunities that we have. We have the clear picture about our region now, and it's time for us to move to action. Next, we'll be receiving a statement from the representative of Togbe Afede the 14th. The statement will be delivered by Togbe Ayim Ajokoto on his behalf. While he comes, I would like us to acknowledge the presence of our DCs and the MCs that are with us, and also the staff and management of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center that made this should happen. Shall we please welcome our royal parents again?
Thank you very much. Honorable Ministers of State, distinguished guests, traditional leaders, businessmen and women, ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, invited guests. On behalf of the Agbogbomefia, His Royal Majesty Togbe Afede the 14th, I bring you warm greetings from the Asogli State and sincere appreciation to the Ghana Investment Promotion Center and all collaborating partners for organizing this important event to promote investment in the Volta and Oti regions. This roadshow is not just a conference. It is a conversation about opportunity, about how we can transform the rich potential of our regions into real benefit for our people. The Volta and Oti regions are rich in human and natural resources, fertile lands, beautiful landscapes, tourism potentials, diverse culture, peaceful communities, and hardworking people. Yet, the challenge has been always how to turn these blessings into sustainable development. As His Majesty often reminds us, wealth is not in the soil, but in what we do with it. Across our communities, there are countless examples of initiatives that could blossom with just a little support. For example, in Adakulu, women's cooperatives are producing cassava chips and garri for local markets. With improved processing equipment, they could supply supermarkets across Ghana. In Ho West, young people are venturing into snail and mushroom farming. What they need are training, packaging support, and small grants to reach larger buyers. In Afajato South, where the nature and tourism meet eco-tourism ventures around Mount Afaja, and the Togbe Force are creating jobs for our tour guides and local artisans. With investment in better accommodation and digital promotion, these areas could rival any tourist destination in West Africa. Over in Kpando, our boat builders and fish smokers along Lake Volta possess unique skill that could feed into stronger blue economy, one that supports aquaculture, transport, and trade. In Karachi East and Dambai, vast arable lands remain underutilized. With irrigation, modern farming, and agro-processing factories, we could transform the lives of thousands of farmers and reduce post-harvest losses. These few examples show that local investment is not only possible, but practical. It begins with understanding the real needs of communities: access to land, electricity, roads, training, and affordable financing. Traditional authorities are ready to play our parts. We will continue to ensure transparent land administration. Of course, that has been our major challenge, but when fully addressed, it will promote peaceful investment environment and encourage our youth to see agribusiness and entrepreneurship as a path to a dignity and growth. The theme, driving local investment, unlocking regional potentials, call us to act together as chiefs, local assemblies, investors, and government agencies. Development happens when we connect local efforts to national policy and global opportunities. The Agbogbomefia Togbe Afede strongly believes that inclusive and community-driven growth is the surest way to achieve prosperity. When an investor succeeds in Adidome, a youth gets a job in Kweve, and a farmer in Nkwanta earns a better income to the entire nation grow. Let us make this roadshow the beginning of real partnership that translate ideas into farms, workshops, guest houses, and factories. The Volta and Oti regions are ready to rise, and our people are ready to work. On behalf of Agbogbomefia, I thank GIPC and all stakeholders for your vision and commitment. May this gathering spark lasting change for our people and for Ghana. Thank you all for coming.
Please, let's do it better for the assurance that our royal father has presented to us. And I'm glad to say that Volta and OT regions are rising. Next on our agenda is to receive a remark from the caucus leader, Honorable Emmanuel Kwasi Bedzrah.
Thank you very much, Doc. I'm told mine is a remark, so I'll read any statement. Let me also stand on the existing protocol as already established and say we are grateful as a caucus to GIPC, more especially to the board chair and the administrator. We met last week. The GIPC met with us as members of parliament to explain to us the reason why this roadshow. And let me commend them highly that when they decide to have a roadshow, they did not go to any other region, but to start with the Volta region. This has given us the idea that Volta region is ready. We are ready for investment. We are ready for business. I say this because from all the data that has been presented, it shows clearly that Volta region is lacking behind. And if we, the opinion leaders, policymakers, do not come together to make it a reality, we do not have any other time than now. The reset agenda is for the Volta region. And we must all make it, we must all be ready to make it happen. When I came in, I was a little disappointed. I thought the whole auditorium would be filled with people who are ready to move Volta region from its poverty into success. But unfortunately, those of us here are people who are hungry for progress and for development. The takeaway. When I was coming, my colleagues told me that we are tired of giving out handouts. MPs are tired. Every now and then you come to the village, you have to give a handout. We are tired of it. It is time for us to establish businesses for our people to start earning living. How long can we be giving out handouts? How long can MP or DC go to a community and give out 100 cities, 200 cities to his constituent? Is it not time for us to establish businesses? Is it not time for us to start earning living for ourselves? So that when I also come, somebody will give me yam, cocoa yam, or something else. And so this is our time. Board chair and CEO, this is our time. And I'm particularly happy that you started this roadshow. Now, why is this roadshow important? We travel a lot as members of parliament. How do we do our mapping? That in whole West, these are the investment opportunities. So that when I get outside it, I go to China or any other country, I can present a blueprint of Volta region or whole West. And so this mapping is very, very important for us. That is why they ask that the chair should come and encourage GIPC, the regional minister, and all of you. Let's put our heads together to have a blueprint. I've seen the 24-hour economy presentation. They have presented it to us. But whole West, whole Central, Adaklu, what is the blueprint for us? So that I can hold something on the hand. Anytime I travel or when I meet investors, I'll tell them that this is what I need in my constituency for my people. Investment goes with planning. And planning, you must be ready for that investment. how do we get ready for that investment? And how do we plan for that investment? GIPC, whether the numbers are great or not, please go ahead, do your mapping, and give us the blueprint. And I'm particularly happy that we have a young and dynamic regional minister who is prepared, have energy to move this forward. And I must say that a regional MP's caucus is solidly behind him to move this region forward. We know that the Chief of Staff has sent my own colleague to be here to witness it. Please, Honorable Sedu, when you go back, tell Chief of Staff that we, the MPs, the MMDCs, and all stakeholders in the Volta Region, we say we are ready. Bring the investment. We are ready for it. Otherwise, when this bus passes us, there won't be any other opportunity for us. We cannot continue to be hewers of wood and drawers of water. It's time for us to also enjoy the booty of the land. Finally, as the presentation was going by, I remember there's a small country in other parts, other continent, called Singapore. I look at their land side. Singapore has just about over 700 kilometers square of land. It's an island. Volta Region has over 1,900 square meters of land. And Singapore is one of the richest countries on planet Earth. We have more land than Singapore put together. But we, the Volta Region, the investment we've received so far is less than 0.3%. 0.25%. It's a shame. I don't know whether I would say it's a curse. But if it's a curse, that curse must be broken today. When I was walking to this campus, I noticed that there's even an investment opportunity on this campus. There is an investment opportunity. A friend called me and he said he wants to build a hostel for the school. So he asked me to do the design. That's my field. I finished the design, and I was just telling the director of development that very soon, by next month, I'm starting a 200 hostel for this campus. Now, if all members of parliament can go and woo investors to do or to build a hostel here, wouldn't that be investment? That will also employ people in this facility. I spoke to her and I asked her, what's the capacity of the school? The school has over 10,000 students. Over 10,000 students. And what's the hostel facility? Less than 2,000. So there's enormous opportunity here. If you don't want to go into farming, you don't want to go into Volta Lake transport, you don't want to go into any other thing, please bring your money here. We'll build a wholesale here. You will make your investment. You get your returns in less than 5 years. Because they run 24-hour economy on this campus. On that note, thank you very much. And we are privileged to be part of this program. Thank you.
Please, let's do it better for our caucus leader. That was a great motivation. We need to get to work. Among the objectives of the Regional Investment Roadshow is to connect local project owners with potential investors through structured B2B and matchmaking platforms. In view of this, we would like to invite Volta Farms Limited for a 5-minute presentation to us. And they are the reason we are here. We want investors to look at what we are doing locally so that they support them to grow. Please, let's put our hands together for them as they come.
sure it's this one. Good afternoon. My grandmom used to say that if Muhammad will not go to the mountain must go to Muhammad. And as an entrepreneur, this government, the NCC government, is good at coming to us, we the entrepreneurs. So at least they deserve an applaud. My name is Vosbet Kofi Azuma, and I'm the CEO of Vokia Farms. I'm here with my team.
Emmanuel Bansa, Director of Operations.
Frank Cote, Account.
Eugenia Williams, Supervisor.
So in 2014, I was 23 years old, and my late mom, was an assemblywoman at Agbogbomefia district. She brought home the medium-term development plan for 2014. And when I read the report, it indicated that majority of the farmers in the district are subsistence farmers. There's a high low yield, as well as also investment in agriculture and infrastructure is largely negligible. The report paints a clear picture of a vicious cycle of food insecurity. There's high gambling among the youth. There's high rural-urban migration, going to the cities looking for non-existing greener pastures. And also, there's a weak processing facilities, as well as also post-harvest losses was very high. And I made it a personal pledge. I'll be going to the university. When I return, I'll come back and break the cycle. In 2014, the idea was birthed, and Vokia Farm became in existence. We started when ideas were not fully formed, where we went to snails, grass cutter, where you have to be your own mason, your carpenter, and all over. We started. 3 years down the line, I was into 50 acres maize farm, 60 acres maize farm, as high as 100 acres maize farm, and the strategy happened. I lost almost 60 acres of maize farm through post-harvest losses. And even the poultry farmers were not willing to buy the grains. So we rebirthed Vokia, not just to farm and sell in the raw state, but to add value, process, and send to the market. And the vision is to be Ghana's leading agro-processing enterprise, redefining food security through innovation and empowerment. And the mission is clear: reduce post-harvest losses, create consumer-ready packaged product, you are saying, and also build market trust through quality and consistency. And currently, we have 3 products on the market. The Vokia chili powder is on the market. We have the Vokia cereal mix, and also we have the Vokia Hausa cocoa powder. We started when the ideas was not fully formed. We were drying in the open. We were using public milling systems, and we even knew nothing about food security, food safety measures. But through organic growth, reinvestment, discipline, Vokia Foods now have dedicated staff, processing machines, and improved hygiene protocols, and efficient, scalable production lines. This evolution reflects not just growth, but our belief in doing more with less until we can do better with more. Our revenue model, we sell to supermarkets, schools, hospitals, community centers. Now we are penetrating the USA and Canada markets, also entering into Togo. The value chain is just simple: farmer, factory, markets. The potential: we are operating a $50 billion industry of a total available market, with also the serviceable available market around 500 million, and a 50 million serviceable obtainer market. There's a rising middle class demand for foodstuff. Everybody eats. And also there's a regional expansion opportunities in the ECOWAS market as well. That is why this is where we have to invest in. our competitors. We have the Big Blend, I'm sure it will be here. We have the Lifestyle Ventures. We have the Mellers. But I can boldly tell you that when it comes to Vokia, pricing, as low as 430 pesos, you can get product and eat. We established distribution across multiple regions. That's why, in terms of competitive edge, Vokia is the best. There's a strong brand visibility, and also we are export ready. So the investors must come to Vokia. The consumers, what are they saying? He said every parent needs that one breakfast that never fails. And for us, it is Vokia Foods, Tom Brown. My son's face lights up anytime he tastes this product. Another person, I bought this product about a month ago. I decided to open it up, and this morning I tried. I love the taste. No more street cocoa. Now, the traction. Over the past years, I've won the overall regional best farmer awards in 2022, and also won the district best agro processor in 2021. We have over 5 years products proving of product acceptability on the market. We have partnership with 3 aggregators that are closely working with 100 farmers. We have partnership with over 50 smallholder farmers as well. And we have also received multiple support from the GEA, the GIZ, Orange Corners, and also I am a Tony Elumelu scholar. We have partnership with Makola stores worldwide, penetrating the USA and Canada market, and product stock in all supermarkets. We have 20 direct employees, 10 to 15 indirect workers, and we have hosted several dignitaries, the Ghana Army, the African food chain makers, and the rest. Our employees, we have capacity development programs, the Vokia Farms Excellence Awards, workshops here and there to support them. Because of time, our revenue, we started with 100,000 revenue, and today it's over 1.7 million. Now, our next phase, facility development. We are building a state-of-the-art factory on a 10-acre land in Agoti Mejopi district. And what do we need? Just 10 million Ghana cedis that today, I'm sure there's an investor in this room that will say, Vokia, we are ready, we want to give it to you. What are we using the money for? 70% for expansion, machinery, infrastructure, which we have already started, 20% for raw materials, and 10% for distribution. The impact, here is it. 400 people will be employed directly by 2029, where 70% will be women, that's our policy, and 30% women. We are going to engage over 600 people as well through the indirect jobs, basically. The impact story from our workers. This is perfect. As a single mother, it is quite challenging taking care of yourself and the needs of the child. Most worrying is thinking of the next meal. But presence of Vokia Farms in the community, I have a job today, I can get whatever I need, and I feed for myself and the child. Mr. Desmond, I used to move around in the community from game center to game center. My colleagues do not respect me. Sometimes they tag me when their things got stolen. Today I have a job, and those mockery disappears. And what do we need? Our action so far is a testament to the power of believing in oneself, and also the possibility of achieving dreams against all odds. You can imagine what we can do with more. We are waiting to come and support our business to grow. Together, let's grow in Ghana and grow together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vokia Farms. That is an impressive beginning, and they are ready for expansion. Congratulations in advance. Your angel investor will locate you. Please, going further, let me also recognize the presence of whole technical university students and students of other institutions here with us. Also, specifically, we have Honorable Kilian Donko, Pando DC with us, Honorable Prosper Kumi Hokwe with us, Honorable Courage Kokoroko of Saudai, Honorable Daniel Dagba Akachi South, Honorable Francis Duse Ho West, Honorable Victoria Amafaji Yawa Do North Tanoh, Honorable Nicholas Waklachi Ketu South, Reverend Martin Amanaki Ketu North, and Honorable Jerry Yao Ameko of Adaklu. Shall we put our hands together for their time in our presence? Shall we please receive with clap the representative of the Minister of Trade and Industry to also present his remark? Let's put our hands together for him.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, honorables. I respectfully wish to stand on the existing protocols already established and to indicate that my minister, Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu Adjare, extends her well wishes and would have loved to be here. I wish to commend the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, the Volta Regional Minister and the Coordinating Council, the 24-hour Secretariat, and all other partners whose dedication has brought this roadshow to fruition. Your commitment demonstrates the power of collaboration in advancing regional development. The Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry is at the forefront of promoting Ghana as a premier destination for trade and investment. We are actively implementing policies to boost our exports, diversify our export basket, and attract quality foreign direct investments that brings not just capital, but also technology, expertise, and market access. Our vision for the Volta region is an industrialized region that attracts investment in large-scale, high-productivity farming and processing industries, supplying both local and export markets, a region where youth and women are empowered with employment opportunities, businesses thrive, and local production drives economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, the central message of today's roadshow is a call to action. To our local business leaders, I urge you to look at your own backyard, see the opportunities in the raw materials you walk past every day, and bring your ideas to us. We are here to back you. To our financial institutions, we say be bold, develop financial products that speak to the unique opportunities in agribusiness, tourism, and manufacturing in the Volta region. To our traditional leaders, you are the custodians of the land and the culture. Your blessing and active participation in creating investor-friendly communities are invaluable. Let us work together to ensure that investment benefits our people and preserves our heritage. To our youth, your energy, innovation, and tech savviness are your greatest assets. Do not wait for a job, create one. Digital economy is fertile ground. We have programs to support you in e-commerce, digital marketing, and tech-enabled agriculture. The key to unlocking the golden chest of the Volta region is in our hands. It is the key of local investment driven by partnership, innovation, and unshakable belief in ourselves. Let us live here today not just inspired, but activated. Let us be the generation that transformed the narrative of Volta from one of potential to one of prosperity. Thank you very much, and may God bless us all.
Please, let's do it better for him. Let us also acknowledge the presence of the members of GUTA, Ghana Union of Traders Association, Volta chapter. They are also here with us. Next, we would like to receive the production team to give us a video while we will take the keynote address from the representative of our distinguished guest, the Honorable Chief of Staff. Thank you very much. Shall we please, with a clap of friends, receive our keynote speaker, Honorable Seidu. Please, let's do it better.
Thank you. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I bring you warm greetings from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana. Today, I am here to represent our Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debrah, who would have loved to be here personally, but we all know that anytime the president goes out of Ghana, additional responsibility is placed on him. So even though he's not here personally and physically, he is with us in spirit. He says, I should send his profound gratitude to GIPC, the RCC being led by the regional minister, the chiefs and people of this traditional area. He says, I should send his warm greetings and gratitude to you for this invitation. For me, I say I have come home. I think today is about my third time of coming to Volta Region. I say I've come home because I work closely with the people of this region. My technical director, who is seated here, Cedric, is from this region. And the most interesting thing is that my bodyguard is from Volta Region. And to put icing on the cake, my friend here, Honorable Bedzrah, is a senior colleague in Parliament. So I can say clearly that today I have come home. Thank you very much for welcoming me. The representative of the Honorable Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, the Honorable Volta Regional Minister, the chiefs and traditional leaders, CEOs, and the CEO of GIPC, the representative from JIPA and partner institutions, members of the Volta Regional Coordinating Council, esteemed traditional leaders, Your Excellencies, ambassadors present, distinguished development partners, investors, and members of the business community. Today is a very special day. For me, I see it as a special day because Volta Region has taken leadership in showcasing the investment opportunities that are available here. So, I am deeply honored to join you today for the 2025 Volta Regional Investment Roadshow. Today's event marks another significant milestone in our shared efforts to bring investment closer to our people. It reflects our determination to transform the rich potential of our regions into thriving enterprises and to anchor the President's economic reset agenda in the real opportunities that exist across our districts and our communities. I wish to commend the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, and the Ghana Export Promotion Authority for organizing this all-important event. I would also like to commend the Volta Regional Minister, Honorable James Gunu, and the Volta Regional Coordinating Council for graciously hosting us today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here to unlock the potential for the Volta region and to position it as an emerging engine of growth within a balanced, inclusive, and prosperous Ghana. The roadshow is therefore a declaration that Ghana's economic transformation will no longer be limited to a few selected cities, but will reach every corner of our nation. Earlier this year, I had the honor of joining the Ghana Investment Promotion Center and its partners to launch the Investment Opportunity Mapping Project, IOMP. The IOMP aims to systematically identify, access, and document viable investment opportunities in all 261 districts of Ghana. And I see that this initiative is novel. It's novel. When I came in this morning, I had a conversation with the CEO, and I was telling him that we have to scale up this arrangement to other.
We thought the market women were not helping us. But after analysis, we realized that there is something we must do that will increase our productivity so that we become competitive. That is where I went into seed. MMB seed, can you come and help me? Okay, so briefly, MMB seed is a Ghanaian company. We started about 15 years ago. That's the MMB seeds. And it was through, at that time, 2008, I met a group of people who were Agra, the original Agra people who were dreamers to change agriculture in Africa. So I met them. And with my vision, we started. With a grant of 100,000, I'll be able to learn what is a hybrid seed. I'm just going to tell you the story fast, because we don't have time. So I started doing the hybrid seed. I learned about hybrid seed. It is not GMO. because a lot of negative attitude is towards GMO. But this is a hybrid seed. And all our seeds, if you are talking about hybrid seeds, it's imported, Pioneer and Co. But ours is born and bred in Ghana by Crop Research and Sari. We cooperate with international institutions, IITA. That's where we get our parent stock from. We've learned to get 50 grams of breeder seed, multiply it, and extend. Through that, because of climate change, we are based in O. Our factory is just about 500 meters from here, where we process everything. It's just about 500 meters from here. But because of the pattern of rainfall, we scattered our production across the Volta region. So there are people who produce for us. They are well trained, well supervised, because seed, before it can give you the potential, it must be true to type. A hybrid seed must be true to type. I've learned from India, if you are not honest, then don't do seed. So we continue to do seed. We started with maize. We've gone into rice. We are doing cowpea now. So those are our major portfolios. We attempted doing sorghum, but people in the region don't enjoy. It's not catching up, so we lose revenue. We have done groundnuts. That one too is catching up. If you go to the Ministry of Agriculture today, they will tell you MMBCs have changed the productivity of farmers. When I say productivity, people were getting maximum 1 ton with their local seed, 1 ton per hectare. So if they are not able to sell 300, 400 Ghana cedis per 50 kg, they are making no money. And with the imports, it has come. It is withstanding the climate. Last year, when there was that severe drought, those who bought MMB seed were happy. So, in effect, we have classes of seeds. If you don't have enough food, and there is the first rain, you can plant seed. With 2 rains, you will harvest something to your home. So those were the ideas that we used to do this thing. Today, as we are here, if you see all farmers, they complain about fall armyworm. With collaboration with CIMIT, we have started some work on fall armyworm. We've done the first one, giving it out to farmers to see the performance. It has done very well. We'll continue this year. In fact, the seed industry needs a lot of money. And if the 100,000, if we are not saved, if we were not resilient, we wouldn't have done it. Now, I've forgotten something. I've deviated, I am not reading what is there. MMB seed came about from 2 people. I am a farmer, and when I lost my money, somebody was helping. So when the opportunity came to form a company, the company was formed with somebody called Monica Uku. She's in the room. Because we are aging, she's up there. Because we are aging, she cannot stand with me. But these are our guys. We are training people. We train people from University of Ghana, KNUST. As for Ho Technical University, they are our employees, accountants. We even train engineers to become crop scientists. And as you can see, there is vast investment. During the PFJ, we didn't apply, but Farmers Agitation made us to apply. And we were the only Ghanaian company. All the other seeds were imported. We were the only Ghanaian company that supplied hybrid seed. And we supplied over 2,000 tons into the system. So finally, we will need investment to do grants, investment in equipment. We have some equipment, it's aging. We need new. And the most important to us is to change the farmer from using safe seed, which will get nothing, to use seed, to use hybrid seed, so that we can compare. If you see the US or the Brazilian grain market is $200 per ton. Ghana is over 6,000 per ton. We want to change that scenario. So at least we can compare, we can compete with the price there, and we'll beat them with the, how do you call it, the transport. So if we use the transport as profit, we'll be growing. So there is a big investment there. Thank you very much. Our website is MMB Seeds. If you go there, you see all that we do. And farmers' testimony. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MNB. I would like to recognize the presence of Mr. Benjamin Zigos Nyakpanu, the Deputy Registrar, Office of the Registrar General, and also Mr. Anthony Adotevi, CEO of Gunu Microfinance in Hope. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank all of us for the support that you have given me to drive this meeting today. Before we receive the official vote of thanks, let me inform everyone here that lunch has been provided at the canteen area at the back. So right after here, let's make our way there before we leave. I would like to respectfully invite our Creative Regional Minister, Honorable James Gunu, for a symbolic activity before we are out of here. Please, let's clap for him.
Thank you very much, Doc. Our next activity is the 24-hour trade and investment fair for the Volta region. And we have already sent invitation to the office of the Chief of Staff, but we have some souvenirs here that we want to present to him through the Honorable Minister of State. And I don't want to do this alone. At least my Honorable MP is here, the caucus chair. He should join me. And DC for North Town, we need some gender balance. The caucus, the Dean of the FDCs should also join us so that we do this presentation, inviting for the voter fair, and you know, the Japanese ambassador, Your Excellency. Yes. Let's do it better for His Excellency. Yeah. Where is the shirt? The shirt. Yeah. Okay. So we present it to him. This one is big. All right. So we are inviting you to the Volta 24-hour Trade and Investment Fair. All others, we're going to do the same for others later because of lack of time. So thank you very much for the opportunity. So, the Trade and Investment Fair is not the only activity. We also have the Volta Economic Forum coming on Friday at Huti. And then we'll also be hosting the whole Ghana as far as this year's National Farmers' Day celebration is concerned. And that is going to happen in December. So Volta Region is the destination when it comes to investment, agriculture, and agribusiness. These days, almost every weekend, we have our hotels filled to capacity. And so, apart from the hostels that the Honorable MP talked about, hotel facilities is also needed, and conference facilities, because we want to start hosting international conferences as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our Honorable Minister. Shall we please receive Honorable Zainabu Issa, the PRO of the Center and the Senior Investment Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, to give us the vote of thanks.
Thank you.
Please, after the vote of thanks, we will have group photographs upstage. So I will guide us on who comes upstage for the photograph.
Thank you very much. Honorable Ministers, regional and district leaders, esteemed traditional authorities, development partners, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, I extend our deepest appreciation to all those who made today's Regional Investment Roadshow in the Volta region a powerful convergence of vision, opportunity, and partnership. We are especially honored by the presence of the representative of the Chief of Staff, Honorable Isifu Seidu, the Minister of State for Climate Change and Sustainability, whose participation underscores the Office of the President's unwavering commitment to regional development and investment-led transformation. Your support, sir, sends a clear signal that Ghana's growth agenda is both inclusive and intentional. To our board chairman, Dr. Kwasi Ofosu, your leadership continues to shape the GIPC strategic direction with clarity and conviction, and your presence here today reaffirms our shared mission to unlock Ghana's full investment potential, region by region, opportunity by opportunity. To our Honorable Regional Minister, Honorable James Gunu, we are deeply grateful for your steadfast support, your leadership, and your vision for your region. Your collaboration since the launch of the Investment Opportunity Mapping Project has been instrumental in creating the enabling environment for this engagement, and your advocacy for investment is one to be admired. To our gracious hosts, the Regional Coordinating Council, traditional leaders, and the people of the Volta region, thank you for your warmth, your wisdom, and your belief in this region's promise. Your commitment to progress has set the tone for meaningful dialogue and bold ambition, and we are grateful for the support. And to the GIPC team and our supporting agencies, your tireless work behind the scenes is the engine that drives the vision forward. Let us continue to work together to make this shared vision a success. I thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Zenabu. Shall we please now take our group photographs? I will invite our front and distinguished guests to come up stage first. Shall we receive our traditional leaders as well? Our district and municipal chief executives. Our pro-vice chancellor. Please, the dignitaries first before the others join. So, please, our dignitaries will be moving for the opening of the GIPC office. Where? At NCA. Yeah, let us also be reminded that lunch is served at the canteen area. So all our dignitaries to NCA for the opening of the GIPC office. Thank you very much for coming. GIPC is grateful for your time and patience. God bless you.